Hi, in this video we will be discussing about the reverse charge mechanism and how to go about recording the transactions relevant to it in Zoho Books. So what is a reverse charge? Typically, in any business transaction, the supplier collects tax from the recipient and pays it to the government. But under reverse charge, the obligation is shifted to the recipient. The recipient becomes liable to pay tax to the government upon importing a service or a good. In most of the cases, the tax liable to be paid by a reverse charge can be offset by the government. So when does reverse charge come into play? The reverse charge typically comes into play on three conditions: import of goods or service, purchase of goods from the designated zone, purchase of crude oil for processing and resale. In this video, I will be explaining the process of recording the transaction related to the import of goods and service. This process demonstrated will hold good for the purchase of goods from designated zone as well. Let's get started with the import of service. What is an import of service? Let's say your company is based out of UAE and you enjoy a service that is being offered by a company established in another country. This process is termed as import of service. Import of services are subject to VAT under the reverse charge mechanism. So how to create this transaction in Zoho Books? Head on to the Bills module. Under the Purchases tab, create a new bill. Choose a non-GCC vendor and enter the details like the bill number and date. Now choose the item from the list whose item type is set as service. To ensure that the chosen item is a service, kindly check for the tag just below the item name. Enter the purchase details. Now comes the very important part. Just above the item table, you'll find the option named "Is this transaction applicable for reverse charge?" Click onto the checkbox. Associate a suitable tax treatment and save it. The reverse charge summary will be displayed here. To check the impact of this transaction in the VAT return, head on to the Reports module, Tax Returns, generate the tax return, and check for box 3 and box 10. The tax amount that you're liable to pay to the FTA and the corresponding entry to denote the claim from the FTA will be displayed in box 3 and box 10 respectively. Hope the demonstration of import of services and the process of creating transactions related to it was helpful. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is import of goods. Did you know that the FTA pre-populates the value of box 6 using the data obtained from the customs information? Yeah, you heard it right. The customs information declared while clearing the imported goods will be populated in box 6. Now let me explain the right way to record these transactions in Zoho Books that are related to the customs information and the import of goods. Head on to the Bills module under the Purchases tab, create a new bill. Choose a non-GCC vendor and enter the details like the bill number and date. Now choose the item from the list whose item type is set as goods. To ensure that the chosen item is a good, kindly check for the tag just below the item name. Enter the purchase details and save the bill. Now click onto the More option and choose Create Bill of Entry. Enter the basic information like bill of entry number, port code and bill date. Also choose the paid through account. The paid through account here is the bank or the cash account through which the custom duty charges were paid at the time of clearing the goods. Enter the custom duty charges and associate the appropriate tax. Save the bill of entry. The bill of entry details will be displayed here. To check the impact of this transaction in the VAT return, head on to the Reports module, Tax Returns, generate the tax return and check for the box 6 and box 10. The tax amount that you are liable to pay to the FTA and the corresponding entry to denote the claim from the FTA will be displayed in box 6 and box 10 respectively. Hope this video was helpful. If you have any further queries, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.